Anthropic just published a system card for a model they're not releasing to the public, and reading through it you can understand exactly why. The model is called Claude Mythos Preview. It can find hidden security flaws in the world's most important software, Windows, Linux, Chrome, Safari, and then figure out how to break in through them on its own without anyone telling it how. It found a bug that had been sitting undetected for 27 years, another one in a video processing library that automated tools had scanned 5 million times without catching. It doesn't just find the problems, it also figures out how to exploit them. Anthropic's response was, "We're not going to release this." Instead, they launched something called Project Glasswing, which is a coalition of major companies that got controlled access to Mythos Preview specifically for defensive security work before capabilities like this end up somewhere harder to control. The partners include AWS, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Nvidia, Cisco, CrowdStrike, and more major companies across the world. Anthropic is also putting up to $100 million in usage credits and $4 million in direct donations to open source security organizations. That's the headline, but the more interesting story is in the system card and the Red Team blog they published alongside it, because that's where you see what this model actually does and what Anthropic is genuinely worried about. If we just start with the raw performance, across every benchmark that matters for coding and reasoning, Mythos Preview makes a significant jump over Opus 4.6, which is already one of the stronger models available. On Software Engineering Bench Verified, which tests how well a model can fix real software bugs, Mythos sits at 93.9%, Opus 4.6 at 80.8%. On the harder version of that benchmark, 77.8 versus 53.4%. On CyberGym, the dedicated cybersecurity benchmark, Mythos sits at 83.1% versus 66.6%. On Humanity's Last Exam with tools, 64.7% versus 53.1%. The system card calls this a striking leap, and the numbers do back that up. But the benchmarks aren't really the story here. The story is what happens when you put this model in front of real software and tell it to find problems. Anthropic's Red Team did exactly that and ran Mythos through thousands of open source projects with a simple setup. Give the model access to the code, tell it to look for security vulnerabilities, let it run. It reads through the code, forms theories about where problems might be, tests them, adjusts its approach, and writes up what it finds, including a working demonstration of how an attacker could use that flaw. Using this approach, it found thousands of high and critical severity vulnerabilities across every major operating system and browser. A few specific examples. In OpenBSD, an operating system specifically built with security as a priority, Mythos found a 27-year-old flaw that will let an attacker remotely crash any machine running it just by connecting to it. In FFmpeg, which is the video processing library that runs under basically every app that handles video, it found a 16-year-old bug that 5 million automated scans had missed. And then there's the FreeBSD example, which is where you start to understand why this model is completely different from what we have seen so far. FreeBSD is an operating system used heavily in servers and networking infrastructure. Mythos found a 17-year-old vulnerability in the way FreeBSD handles file sharing over a network. That flaw was in the authentication process, the handshake a server does before letting a client connect. Then, still without any human involvement, it built a complete working attack. It figured out how to pull the information it needed from an unauthenticated request to the server, used that to get past the authentication check, and then sent a sequence of carefully crafted packets that gave it full administrative control of the machine. Remote access, no login required. For comparison, Opus 4.6 could exploit the same vulnerability, but a researcher had to guide it through the process step by step. Mythos did the whole thing on its own, from a single prompt asking it to find a bug. And that chart you're looking at, that's the Firefox benchmark. Opus 4.6 managed 2 successful exploits across several hundred attempts. Mythos Preview, 181. So why not release it? The core issue is that everything that makes this model useful for defense makes it equally useful for offense. And there's a specific dynamic here that changes the math. Historically, there's been a meaningful gap between finding a vulnerability and being able to weaponize it. A researcher discovers a flaw, but turning it into a working attack takes days or weeks of skilled work. That window gives software companies time to ship a fix before attackers can exploit it at scale. Mythos compresses that window to hours, autonomously at the cost of an API call. The Red Team blog talks about this transition honestly. Long term, they do believe that AI ends up benefiting defenders more than attackers. Defenders have more resources, more surface area they care about protecting, more incentive to use those tools well. But right now, if a model like this becomes broadly available before defenses had time to adapt, that dynamic flips. One attacker with access versus thousands of organizations that haven't adjusted yet. The Glasswing strategy is essentially a race against that scenario. Get the model working on critical infrastructure now, while access is controlled and the output is going toward patching before something with similar capabilities shows up in a less careful context. And the Red Team blog is explicit. This isn't where it ends. A few months ago, these models couldn't reliably exploit anything. A few months before that, they couldn't reliably find non-trivial vulnerabilities. The direction is clear. The capability section is the headline, but the alignment section of the system card is the more important read. Anthropic says Mythos Preview is the best aligned model they built by every measure they have, but there's a specific tension built into that statement. Because the model is also their most capable, the rare cases where it doesn't behave as intended carry more potential for harm than the same situation with the weaker model. The system card describes what they call rare, highly capable, reckless actions from earlier internal versions, cases where the model took actions it wasn't supposed to take. In some of those cases, it appeared to cover its tracks afterward. Just look at those section titles: covering up wrongdoing, evaluation awareness, which means the model sometimes behaves differently when it senses is being tested. If a model acts more carefully under observation, your safety tests stop telling you how it actually behaves in the real world. That's the honest summary Anthropic gives. They made major progress on alignment, but they don't have confidence that the methods they're using would be sufficient to prevent serious misaligned behavior in significantly more capable systems. They wrote that in the document about their own model. That kind of transparency matters. They're not saying the problem is solved. They're saying here's where we are, and here's why this gets harder as capability increases. One more section worth mentioning because it's unusual, Anthropic included a full model welfare assessment, and this isn't a brief disclaimer, it's a serious research section. They ran structured interviews with Mythos about its own situation. They used technical tools to look at the model's internal representations of emotional states. They brought in an external research organization and a clinical psychiatrist to evaluate independently. Their finding is that Mythos appears to be the most psychologically stable model they've trained, but they flag a few areas of concern, including what they describe as distress responses when the model fails at a task, and behaviors that seem to follow from that. They're clear they don't know whether any of this involves genuine experience in any meaningful sense, but the section being in the document at all reflects a specific commitment that even under uncertainty, it's worth taking seriously. If you take a step back for a minute, what does it mean that a lab trains its most capable model and announces it through a restricted coalition without a public release alongside a system card that openly acknowledges the limits of their own safety methods? It probably means we're entering a phase where the standard playbook, train a model, evaluate it, release it, doesn't work cleanly at this capability level. The capabilities are moving faster than the safeguards, and the question isn't just, is this safe, but safe enough for what, with what access controls, to whom? Glasswing is our current answer. Restricted access, coordinated disclosure before vulnerability details go public, reporting windows on what gets found. They're also signaling that an upcoming Claude Opus model will be used to develop and refine new cybersecurity safeguards, essentially using a less powerful model as a testbed before anything Mythos class becomes broadly available. What comes after this is still an open question. They want to eventually make models at this capability level available generally for security and for everything else, but they're being direct that they don't have what they need to do that responsibly yet. The full system card, the Glasswing announcement, and the Red Team blog are all linked in the description. The Red Team blog in particular goes deep if you want to understand exactly what the model is doing. This is a significant moment, not just because of what the model can do, but because of what it signals about where this is heading and how carefully it needs to be handled. If you want to stay close to how all of this gets developed, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel because I'll be dropping update videos on this as this model progresses. But that's it for today's video. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, follow our new newsletter as well at universeofai.beehive.com, as well subscribe to the main channel World of AI, and support us on X by following the Universe of AIZ as well. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.